First, however, a few words on the idea of optimism. Optimism is a tendency to expect the best in all things, having the confidence that whatever happens, ultimately things are going to be okay. Some of the most endearing characters in fiction and mythology, such as Oliver Twist, Harry Potter and Hercules, undergo horrendous hardship, cruelty and misfortune. However, eventually they all triumph because of their underlying sense that with courage, determination and a little luck, things will go well in the end. This is optimism. People sometimes say that we live in fashionably cynical times where a naive trust in honesty, courage, hard work and decency is simply not cool. But have you ever noticed that life's optimists seem to attract good luck? When you exude optimism, people find your personality more attractive. For example, 28 of the last 29 US presidents, as displayed by their communication styles, were greater optimists than their main opponents in the presidential race. People who like life. And that doesn't just mean when things are going well. This positive feedback from others tends to make you more optimistic, which in turn makes you more popular, so the happy cycle continues. Of course, optimists experience setbacks, the same as anyone else. But for them, they are just that, setbacks, and not disasters. They see the bigger picture. They see a setback as temporary, or as a new challenge to be surmounted. They have perseverance and never give up. Optimists also have the useful skill of not taking everything personally. A true optimist will not be overheard saying, "Why do these things always happen to me?" Rather, they focus on what they do have and on opportunities that are open to them. We're all denied some things in life, but the great optimists of this world have always used every last grain of what they actually have, rather than just wishing things were different. They make things happen. As a wise person once said, "Don't have a wishbone where your backbone should be." So, there is no doubt. Research has shown optimism to be an invaluable asset. Your mental and physical health, work and financial welfare, relationships, popularity have all been shown to improve with optimism. It's fortunate then that optimism can be learned. Even if you consider yourself to be negative or to have been surrounded by pessimists, you can still develop the immense power of optimism. This session is designed to help convey a sense of how it feels to be optimistic, to motivate you to take a more optimistic view, to give you a positive boost if you're feeling down. Right. Now just take a little time to settle comfortably, sitting in a nice, restful chair, or lying down peacefully, perhaps on a bed or even supported by the floor. Just allow those eyelids to rest shut, and as you close your eyes, that's it. And you can notice where that pure, sweet, healthy relaxation begins to make itself known first. Could be the forehead, or the shoulders, or the arms, and the legs that begin to get a sense of deep harmony and relaxing peace drifting around the body. Good. Now, actions speak louder than intentions. How many times has a man had the intention of drinking less alcohol? Or perhaps a woman had the intention of doing more exercise? But actions are different. They occur and affect your life and the world around you. Things actually become different. It's not just lip service or thought service. It's a change in the reality. Things actually become different when you do rather than just say. Now your body knows how to relax so much more deeply than you know consciously. Your conscious mind doesn't know how to go to sleep and have a long, beautiful, refreshing, deep sleep. But your unconscious mind does. And it is the unconscious mind which can give you the feeling of great determination through thick and thin, with a sense that you need never give up. And I can recall the true story of two men lost in a vast desert because their car had broken down. No one seemed to know they were there, and all seemed hopeless. Now these two men were two very different men. One man was determined that somehow everything will turn out all right. The other began to despair and became certain they were doomed. That man became so thirsty that he decided to drink petrol from the car, even as the optimistic man begged him to wait a little longer. The man drank the petrol and died. The first man hung on, determined he would find a way out of this. Just an hour after the demise of the other man, the optimist was rescued by a convoy of passing trucks. And a sailor, much used to the sea, once said to me, "It's possible to be in a very fierce storm and feel that it will last forever, even at that very point that you are just about to come through it and out of the other side, into the sunshine." And notice, in a few moments, what it feels like to have every cell of your body feel awash with optimism. As if optimism and positivity is a physical force residing in the body and mind and washing through you, cleansing out old, unhelpful patterns of thought and feeling, leaving you so wonderfully clear and empowered later on today and in your life, and your unconscious mind and your body knows that you never give up. And of course, somewhere in your mind right now, you can notice a situation within your mind, in your life, and get the sense of feeling it can get better somehow, even if in just small ways at first. Notice those improvements in your mind, like watching from the outside, but also feeling those improvements at the same time. And when you feel upbeat and positive, it's like walking on air sometimes. And your hands can feel very resting and really positive. And in fact, every part of you partakes of this optimism, as if the goodwill of the whole universe is directed into you, making you notice that confidence is universal because right now, and when you need it most, it's really the confidence, power, and energy of nature itself working through you. And all kinds of people have thrived during incredibly hard conditions, and there is always a way, and you never give up. Now, you could feel utter relaxation, as if your body and mind is drenched in calm and peace, and for the rest of the day or night, you can notice the benefits of this time of deep relaxation and learning. However, the effects of your optimism and personal strengths will go on, helping all those around you as well as yourself. And legend tells us of how Robert the Bruce, a real leader among men, one day whilst sheltering in a cave, was immensely inspired by a tiny little spider who spent ages upon ages spinning its web, only to have it blown down by a fierce and sudden gust of wind. The great leader had been pitying himself, feeling that his own struggles were insurmountable. But he received a real life lesson from that lowly spider, who began, with not so much as a pause, spinning its web once more with patience and diligence. Now, in a few moments, you can begin to feel more in the here and now. As I count back from 10 to 1, you can start to come back to the room feeling so refreshed and alert and enlivened. Good. And 10 and 9 and 8 and 7. That's it, becoming more wide awake. And 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Opening your eyes and feeling wide awake. Great, well done.